Hello. Once a baby starts moving, playtime takes on a whole new level. Most likely, your baby is crawling, walking, running, or maybe doing all three in combination at the same time. It's amazing how fast they can move on those chubby hands, legs, and knees. So, today we're going to be talking about baby proofing and home safety essentials. My name is Mariana Munyendo, and you're watching Simba-Safe Kenya. Having a baby is amazing. It transforms your life, your finances, and your lifestyle. Remember those nice glass coffee tables that you used to like? Well, you can't have them anymore because the first thing that normally goes through it is a long crack right in the middle. So where do you start from in your house in terms of keeping it safe for your child? Number one, look at everything from the baby's point of view. We have bird's eye view, then we have baby's eye view. So that means getting onto your tummy and looking at everything from the house, how your baby would see it. What are some of the things that you can do in order to keep your house hazard-free and safe for your now mobile child? Number one, safety locks and latches. These are very good for closing drawers, cabinets, because one of the things that hurt children is when they put their hand through a drawer and then it squeezes them, so they get hurt. And sometimes in those cabinets there are things that might harm them, so we need to close the cabinets and keep them safe. Number two, corner bumpers. Sometimes the furniture that we use in the house has sharp edges, and so the baby might be able to hit themselves or hurt themselves while they're navigating around the house. So it's very important to put this corner bumpers to be able to have a softer landing in case the child hits themselves on the furniture. Socket covers. Electricity poses a great risk to children in the house because when they are crawling or walking around or trying to discover things around the house, they want to put their fingers in the socket holes or even try to put things that they have picked around the house in those socket holes. So it's very important to either have the sockets covered or to shift furniture in your house so that the bigger pieces of furniture can be able to cover the socket outlets. That way you're protecting the child from electricity, shock, and harm. The next important thing to look at is door stops. Children, for some reason, like the sound of banging doors. So when they're in the house, they like just swinging the door and see the sound that comes out. And sometimes they are caught in it and it hurts their fingers. So it's very important to ensure that you have door stops that prevent a banging door from harming the child. Another thing about door security is also keys. At a certain point in your house, it's important to remove some of the keys from the doors in the rooms, because what does a child do? Whenever they see you locking and unlocking the door, they become fascinated and they also want to do the same. So we have instances where you're looking for the baby and they have conveniently locked themselves in the bathroom. And sometimes because they know when they are somewhere they've locked themselves and you will not disturb them, they take the time to get into the bathroom, lock the door, and use your toothbrush to clean the toilet so that you don't disturb them. So it's very important to have the keys in some areas where the child is most likely to lock themselves in, kept away. Staircases. Stairs pose a very great risk, especially to a crawling baby or a newly walking toddler. So it's very important, if you live in a house that has a staircase, to put a lock, a gate lock that prevents the child from tumbling down the stairs or not being comfortable when they're navigating the stairs. Another thing, we live in a lot of high-rise buildings within the city. We live in flats, so we find that probably you're on the 4th or 5th floor of your building. It's very important to consider the safety around your balcony because these balcony areas are left exposed. So what can you do? You can put some netting around the balcony to prevent the child from trying to pass through the grills. Another thing that you can do is to ensure that the door going towards the balcony is also locked at all times so that you are aware if there's any movement towards the balcony. Finally, because of safety, sometimes there are some things that we have to change. Like I said, our lifestyle changes. If you are living on the 7th floor and now you have a baby, maybe it's about time you consider living maybe on between the ground and the 3rd floor so that you mitigate the risk of the stairs being a hazard to your child. Lastly, we need to work around space dynamics. space is a very key consideration when you are using baby's eye view. For instance, if you're on your tummy, then you can be able to look up at the TV and see the angle at which it will fall directly to your child and adjust it accordingly. So that means you'll be able to say, I can put the TV this high or this low. Don't put it at an angle where it will harm the child. Put it either higher up where they cannot reach it, or lower where if they shake the table, then nothing will happen. A lot of the times we see most of the safety announcements telling us keep out of reach of children. Then that's the thing that you should consider. Another thing that you can consider with space dynamics also is just keeping things away, maybe in other rooms or maybe in the higher cabinets within the room. One of the things that we encounter most is children drinking detergent. So if you keep it at a higher place within the house, then the child will not be able to access it. So space dynamics are also very important to consider. All that being said and done, safety begins with you. When the people around the house are aware that this house now has a child living in it, then they should be able to arrange things accordingly. Something as simple as a shoe being left in the pathway of a child might trip a child and have this child fall down. Something as simple as water. Nairobi, we face a lot of water shortages. So what do? We keep a lot of water in troughs, basins, all those places within the house or out in the balcony. A very small amount of water can drown a child. So it's very important to consider some of the storage devices that we are using for liquids, for example, water, for the safety of the child. All in all, it's very important to keep reviewing some of these safety measures around the house. Because, for instance, if you put a gate on your balcony door, or if you put a gate on your staircase coming down maybe into the living room, when the child is 1 year old, it will work. But when they become 2 years old, it becomes their favorite spot. They want to climb on it and cross over and play with it. So it's very important to keep considering these safety measures as you go on, as the child grows. As usual, we have taken the time to give you more in-depth information on this article on baby proofing and home essential. Feel free to visit our blog on the details below and read more on how you can be able to keep your child safe within the home area. As always, our social media pages are available. Join us, get the conversation going, and let's talk safety. Remember, safety is as simple as ABC. My name is Mariana Munyendo. Thank you.